Good morning, everyone. Colin with the Knox County Fire Bureau here again with another installment of Things to Know. Today we're going to talk about dryer fires. Laundry rooms, traditionally, nationally, are still one of the top 5 areas in your home where you have the potential for a dangerous fire emergency. One of the ways you can reduce your fire potential is simply doing some preventative maintenance that you can do at home off a to-do list with some simple tools that you may either have at home already or things you can buy at your local home store of choice. Some of the things that we've got today: work lights, in case you're working in an area that's not very well lit, it's always important. Gloves to protect your hands, especially if you're going to find yourself reaching into the wall to clean out the lint trap. These pipe cleaners of sorts, these are designed for you to go inside the dryer exhaust vent to go inside the wall and kind of pull all that lint out, and we're going to show you how these work eventually toward the end of the video. Whenever you're taking your dryer away from the wall, you're going to be articulating the exhaust hose that goes from the rear of the dryer, attaches to a coupling on the wall, and then outside your house. It's always good, just in case, to have a replacement one available in case there's damage on the existing one that's on the back of your dryer. Most of these hose kits will also come with a set of clamps, one to attach it to the rear of the dryer, and then one to attach it to the wall so it gets completely out and outside your home. These are usually trimmed to fit, and you just need yourself a pair of shears, a pair of scissors that you may not want to be using to cut important things later, but they're usually trimmable on your own. We're going to show you that too. And one of the important things you're going to want to check out is where your dryer exhausts on the outside of your home. Usually it's protected by some sort of a cover, vented cover, and we're going to show you outside exactly how to remove that and what you may find, and also how removing it is going to allow you to better clean out that lint from inside the vent. Alright, so you've seen our area here right now. Kind of did a little work already this morning, moved the washing machine out of the way so we can get to the access behind the dryer. So let's go ahead and set our area up, get ourselves a little bit of light. Always want to make sure you can see what you're doing. Alright, so when you pull the dryer away from the wall, you'll notice that the dryer exhaust hose goes from the rear of the dryer to the wall, where there's a flange that comes out and attaches to it and allows the lint to travel out to the outside of the house. Now you'll see how lint is kind of accumulated on the outside of the hose, but before it hits the wall. This could be a sign that you've got an area where there's a blockage or an accumulation of lint that needs to get cleaned out. Another indication you might have an issue is if you have to dry your clothes more than once in order to get them to completely dry. If that's the case, then you probably should be doing this. Now, as a recommendation, we don't necessarily say that you have to do this X amount of times a year, but you should do it as often as you feel is appropriate for the amount of time and use on your dryer. Alright, so let's get down here and take a look at it. So as you can see inside the hose, it's relatively clear. This one's been in service for quite a while. Looks like we're in pretty good shape as it comes through the hose. That's an excellent sign that everything's going to be in great shape. But we're going to go ahead and take this one off the other end of the wall. Notice here where you attach to the wall, you've got an area where the mylar between the rings on this elastic hose has already started to open up. This could be a potential incident where you're going to wind up losing some of that push from your dryer's blower motor, and lint's going to wind up going behind your dryer. Cleaning out this, replacing these hoses, periodically removing the back of your dryer as long as the power is off, pretty please. Never work on an electrified appliance with the power on. Make sure that you take the thing and then clean out whatever visible lint you can also see from inside the dryer. Alright, so here around this hose, this opening that we've got, let's go see if we can use one of our tools here and pull out some lint. So we're going to use this, what I'm going to call a dryer Q-tip, for the lack of any better way to call it. We're going to stick this in here. We're going to give it a little bit of a turn, and we're going to see if we can get any lint to come out with us. All right, just a little bit. This is a very positive sign. Very positive sign. We're going to snake this and see how far we can get. All right, looks like we're already over to the other side. Let's pull it back out again and see what we get. Just a little bit more. Looks like we're in pretty good shape. To make sure that we're getting everything fully out, let's go outside and make sure that we've taken the cover off, and we'll show you how that's done. All right? So catch me up in a second. We'll be outside. All right, now we're outside, as I've thrown the bit in the mulch. All right, now we're outside. When you're working outside, this is one of the opportunities where it's probably good to have a good set of gloves on. When we take this cover off, what this cover is designed to do is to be a one-way exhaust vent. As the dryer motor pushes the lint out, the velocity of the air will cause the vent fans to come up, and that will allow the lint to exhaust. You can see where some of it's already been trying to get away and starting to accumulate on the vent fins themselves. Another wonderful indication that you're probably ready to get your vent cleaned out. But it's also there to prevent things like small animals, birds from building nests and things like that. So doing some routine preventative maintenance on this too will also help your dryer function a little bit better. Usually comes off quite easily. We're going to go ahead and zip this one off real quick and take a look at her. There are various styles of these. Some of your residential ones, you can actually remove the vent fins manually without taking the frame off. This particular style does not allow that. Please know which one you have before you start trying to remove the vent fins manually and then wind up breaking your cover on accident. All right, whoa, look at that. So with the 4 screws removed, we can see we've had quite the accumulation of lint right here at this choke point, right? Lint like this over time building up inside that hose, heating and cooling, becomes very brittle and very prone to igniting with a lot amount of heat. So doing this regularly, cleaning this out regularly is going to greatly improve your fire safety in the laundry room and the efficiency of your dryer specifically. So we'll just go ahead with our gloved hands and remove as much lint as we can get. Ah, just look at that. Good stuff. This is a wonderful to-do list item, like spring, fall perhaps, when it's nice outside. Excellent, look at that. Infinitely cleaner. Now, obviously you can also replace these periodically as the vent fans become brittle or broken. So just make sure that you take note of that, especially if you're out doing yard work or garden work. All right, so let's take our tool and snake this again, see how much more we can get out. All right, so right now I can actually look all the way through the wall and I can see the back of our dryer pretty well. So I know that we're getting the exact distance all the way through, cleaned out really well with the scrubber. Note that some homes, this run between the end of the dryer and the outside of the wall may be very long. Make sure you consult your dryer's manufacturer's included instructions to better understand how your fan motor works and the distances it's allowed to push. While you're cleaning this, it's always very good to visualize the interior of this, whether you use a small flashlight, for instance, and take a peek inside. Just make sure that it's free of any hung up debris or material that may be in there. If you have to, this is another reason why we're using gloved hands. Reach in there because you don't know who's made a home in there, and just use your hand and clean out whatever might be left. Looks pretty good in here, so we're going to go ahead and cap it back up again. All right, make Make sure you put it back on with the fins coming down the right way. If you do this, you're kind of defeating the whole purpose of putting it up there. I say that because there was a time in my life I probably would have done it upside down, taking me 3 tries to get this right. Alright, now the vent cover is now back installed, so let's go inside. We're going to share some final tips and tricks, things that I think could help you in the long run, make this a little bit easier, and then we'll get everything put back together again. Alright, so we're back inside our laundry room again, and you're seeing me holding this battery operated leaf blower, thinking, what are we using a leaf blower for here in the laundry room? Well, with what we're talking about, cleaning out that hose as it goes through your wall into the outside of your house, having a battery operated leaf blower where you can take the nozzle off, you can actually stick this part into the opening in the wall and then turn the leaf blower on and then use that to help you exhaust that material that may be in that tube if it's a longer run. We're going to show you how this looks right now. So come on back here with me as we try to get past all this stuff. Alright, now you're going to notice that some leaf blowers, they're going to have a little bit bigger of a tube on them. Sometimes it's whatever, but just get it right up in there, turn it on, and just let it go for a while. With the opening, the vent removed on the exterior of the building, someone will be able to see all that stuff come flying out. So this is another little tool or tip of the trick of the trade, as it were, to help you get those longer runs cleared out. Alright, so let's put our tool aside here and let's talk better about getting our dryer back together and back in service. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to show you how to replace the existing tube with a new one. So what you want to do is you want to measure it. Now remember, you want to make sure that this hose is not going to be kinked when you put it back against the wall. Making sure that it's only the amount of run that you need to get from point A, the rear of the dryer, to point B, the opening in the wall. Any more material like this, as it gets kinked or whatever, that's going to cause you to build up lint within the hose. Building up lint within the hose is going to prematurely put wear and tear on your dryer. Alright, so let's give her a measurement, see how we're doing. There we go. Make sure you've got all your tools. You can use the other hose as a guide, but as we saw earlier, this one is a little bit short, so we're just oh, gracious sakes. These are pressure fit from time to time, so you want to make sure you got everything ready to go. You got your wire your wire rig here. We'll get the ones situated on the wall first. Get it as far up on there as you can. There we go. Excellent. Alright, and once you have that set, you can use your bit driver and then lock that clamp into place. Make sure that you're clamping down on the portion that's coming out of the wall, so that way you clamp down and don't break the hose. There we go. Nice and solid. All right. Now we can go ahead and fit our other end to our dryer. You want to make easy curves in it. Don't want to do anything drastic. Easy curves are what allows the lint to flow normally. All right. And then again, just pressure fit that right to the rear of your dryer. Sometimes it takes a bit of coaxing. There we go. That's good to go. We get our clamp back into place. Again, remember you're clamping down on that metal exhaust tube. And make sure that that's solid in place. And we're all set and ready to go. Now you can discard your old one. Let's gather up all of our tools. Make sure that it's free. And then we can slide the dryer back into place, making sure that we don't crimp the hose. There we go. Make sure your door is easy to open. We're ready to go. Now we'll put the dryer or the washing machine back away. If you unplugged any of the appliances, make sure you plug them back in again. Alright, we're all set. Alright, so that was a bit of a hot job. But now that it's over, you can enjoy your good coffee. Make sure you get the rest of your to-do list things done. It's very important that you do this periodically throughout the year to make sure that you're reducing the fire potential here in your dryer. Make sure that you check out the rest of our Things to Know videos right here on our YouTube channel, and remember to follow us on Facebook and Twitter. We'll see you next week.